Howdy folks, and welcome to the annual War Thunder video, which by my count must mean it's the year 2020 already. So, hello from the future. I don't look at many War Thunder replays. I'm glad I looked at this one. The tank, by the way, is just a Panzer IV-H. Actually, no it isn't, it's a Panzer IV-F2. Bloody hell, Jingles. Know your tanks. This was the first model of the Panzer IV that was equipped with a high-velocity, long-barreled 75mm gun. And it's quite a popular tank here in War Thunder at its battle tier. Nearly half of the team are driving these things. This is realistic battle, by the way. And this is Cosmic Blitz 42, and he's going up against the Americans and the Russians in his Panzer IV-F2. Now, this is actually fairly old news in War Thunder at this point, but it's not often I do a War Thunder video, and if all you ever see of War Thunder is the videos that I put up, well, you may not realise that tanks have smoke grenade launchers now. In fact, some tanks can actually fire smoke shells. In fact, if you have a look down at the ammunition selection bar at the bottom of the screen, you'll see that Cosmic Blitz has, well, I'm not entirely sure, I think it's armour-piercing ballistic capped. Armour-piercing as his number one ammunition choice. And then he's got a couple of smoke shells loaded as his second ammunition choice. His third ammunition choice is APCR. And then the fourth button along is smoke grenade discharges. This is something I was hoping that World of Tanks was going to introduce. Well, I've been years ago since I suggested it. In fact, it was one of the things that I suggested World of Tanks put in for artillery to give them a bit more team utility. Funnily enough, not long after I suggested it for World of Tanks, Armoured Warfare put it in. And then of course Armoured Warfare removed artillery entirely from PvP games. Nowadays in Armoured Warfare you can only play artillery in co-op battle. Or at least you could the last time I played Armoured Warfare, but I don't see that changing anytime soon. So, anyway, 3 capture points. Alpha in the hands of the Allies, Charlie in the hands of the Axis, and nobody at the moment pushing Bravo there in the centre of the map, although there's something going on there. Now, I wondered exactly what it was that Cosmic Blitz was doing here. And I swear I thought to myself, okay, hang on a minute. What's he shooting at? What he's actually doing is using the Coaxial MG34. I suspected this was the case, but this is the first time I've ever actually seen anybody do it. He's using the Coaxial MG34 to see if there are any hidden tanks there. Because if the MG34 hits a target, he'll get the hit animation appear. And then he'll know that there's a tank at the other end of his machine gun, and he can follow it up with a 75mm armour-piercing shell. That was my guess, and I was very happy to see it confirmed, as you're going to see very soon. Don't see anything there. Anything over there? Yep, there you go. Follows it up with a shot. Set him on fire. The second it's reloaded. Yep, another shot with the MG34. Confirms the target. Hits him again. You can see the turret coming around. Yeah, too slow, Ivan. Sneaky, huh? Well, arguably, that's what the coaxial machine gun was for. It was to assist in range finding. Amongst other things, you can obviously use it to mow down infantry and suppress anti-tank guns, but one of the reasons for fitting a coaxial machine gun in a tank was to assist in range finding with the main gun. So, you know, if you're sitting there watching this thinking, the dirty cheating so-and-so, well, it's not really an exploit. It's one of the things that the MG34 coaxial machine gun was actually for. And I'm actually quite happy to see that it works here in War Thunder Realistic Battle. Because I've got to admit, the amount of times... I mean, it's been a while since I've actually played War Thunder, but the amount of times I've been sitting in realistic battle thinking, who the hell is shooting at me? And never even occurred to me to just sweep the bushes and tree line with the machine gun to try to pinpoint the target. I've seen people use the machine gun to try to blind me while they're reloading the main gun. And that is something that the machine guns in War Thunder are actually quite useful for as well, because it can be very, very difficult to actually see who's shooting at you when your view is obscured by all of the paint chips and dust and sparks and everything that gets thrown up by a concentrated hail of machine gun bullets hammering off the front of your turret. And I've seen that happen, but this is the first time I've ever actually seen anybody... I mean, I don't know, maybe it's something that's actually very common in War Thunder now. As I say, it's been a while since I've actually played the game. But this is the first time I've ever watched a replay where I've seen somebody deliberately using the coaxial machine gun to sight the main gun. Hello? Oh, I don't know about this. He's very exposed on this bridge. But then again, he's not moving, is he? It's just the turret. Okay, he's moving a little. But this is one of the things in War Thunder. What? Hello, somebody's just deployed a smoke grenade up ahead. He's doing it again. Got another target. It's a Chaffee. He's brewing up. He's doing it again. Confirms the target with the MG34. Finishes it off with the 75mm. I really thought this was so cool. This is the first time I've seen anybody doing it. All you veteran War Thunder players are going, bloody hell, Jingles, you utter noob. Well, we do this all the time. It's the first time I've seen it. I actually got quite excited. Especially since I actually guessed. The first time he hosed down the tree line with the MG34 and there was nothing there. I actually guessed what it was he was doing before I saw it confirmed. When he used the machine gun and did hit something and then followed it with a main gun. So I was very proud of myself. I wish I'd thought of it a few months ago. He's at it again. Again, you can tell that there's something there. There has to be. Somebody's fired a smoke grenade. See, this is the thing about War Thunder realistic battles. Somebody's calling in an artillery barrage. You have to keep your eyes on a swivel to figure out what's going on around you. It's not like World of Tanks where you get that red outline. And there are no target markers popping up on the map to let you know that there are enemy tanks there. So you have to pay attention to the environment. And he's fishing around for a target. He knows there's something there. Oh, KV-1. Looked like a fuel tank hit, but I don't think it set him on fire. Right, we know there's a KV-1 over there, and the KV-1 knows that somebody just shot at him. But you'll notice that the eye is drawn to movement. Speaking of which, there's somebody moving ahead. Nope, too slow. I couldn't tell what it was. Having a look at the map, I'm not seeing any friendlies up ahead. Oh, it's an M10. Well, it was. And there goes the smoke grenade. So he's got the smoke grenade covering him to the front. He's checking the riverbank for anything behind him. See, I thought this was a big risk earlier when he was just sitting there immobile on the bridge, totally exposed, but the eye is drawn to movement. It's the first thing that indicates you that there's something there that shouldn't be. Popped another smoke grenade. Smoke grenade on this side is dissipated. Oh, that is a slow turret traverse. I don't like that slow turret traverse, I really don't. You can hear aircraft overhead, but I think, yeah, they're friendly. And another smoke grenade. He doesn't have a lot left. Oh, and that's the other notification that there's something there. Gunfire. Hello, Mr. Sherman. And good night. He actually had his gun pointing this way, so that was pretty close. So the other thing that the smoke grenade does, it doesn't just provide visual concealment, it's also an enemy tank magnet, because they see a smoke screen. That smoke screen didn't just happen by itself. And if you don't see any friendlies on the map in the direction of the smoke screen, there's a fairly good chance there's an enemy tank there. So So it is a bit of a double-edged sword. Where did the KV-1 go? See, that's the question. I know he hit his fuel tank. I think he injured at least one of the crew. There's some shooting going on around there. We can hear the machine gun. Oh dear. There's the KV-1. Is he even aware that there's a Panzer behind him? I don't think he was. Spot a very rough and unexpected surprise butt sex for poor old Ivan there. Oh man. Although that tank looks like it's had its... That looks like an ammunition rack. Turret's popped clean off. I do love the animations from ammunition fires in War Thunder. I do have to say they are pretty impressive. Just jets of flame erupting from all of the hatches on the tank. Although it does make you stop and think about what kind of experience it must be like for the crew. Probably a very short one. Right. The team are flipping Bravo. In fact, they've flipped Bravo. And it looks like they're in the process of flipping Alpha over at the enemy team side of the map, but the enemy team are in the process of flipping Charlie. Back where we started. Okay. Well, looking at how many enemy players are left up, there's a fairly good chance that there's only one enemy tank flipping Charlie all the way back there. Since the rest of the team seem to be pushing on towards Alpha, we're going to head back. I want a bit of a fishing expedition. And Cosmic Blitz doesn't have that far to go. And it's surprising how quickly the Panzer IV F2 can actually move when it's not having a manoeuvre. I'm just not too sure about that slow turret traverse though. See, this is where situational awareness comes in. Charlie has been flipped, so whoever did it's probably on the way back here to see if you can shoot some Germans in the ass. Oh, there he is! Well, he couldn't get the turret around in time, but the T-34 is completely unaware that there's a Panzer behind him. Beautiful. Oh man. Tunnel vision. It is easy to tunnel vision in War Thunder though. If you're not paying attention, if you're not looking around you all the time, often the first time you realise that there's an enemy tank there is when you're getting hit. This is not like World of Tanks, where under those circumstances, even if the player in the T-34 hadn't been looking in the right direction, an enemy tank would have popped up on the map. If he'd been paying attention to the map, he would have known. Or if he had the Sixth Sense skill, then that would have gone off and instantly he would have been looking around. Didn't see anything because he'd passed the road junction, looking at the map. Oh crap, there's a tank behind me. You do not get that in War Thunder. If you are not paying attention, like that T-34, it's going to be a short game. And now he's flipping Charlie, returning it to its rightful owners, and the team pretty soon are going to hold all 3 of the capture points. So this is not a good day to be an Allied tanker. Oh, hello. There's the ranging shot for an artillery barrage. So there must be an enemy tank relatively close. Doesn't necessarily mean they can see him. They probably can't, otherwise he'd be getting shot at. But they know that somebody's capping. But it's too late. He's already flipped the cap and he's well clear of the artillery barrage, which should be landing. Yep, there it is. Way too slow. I'd hoped that Cosmic Blitz was going to add a 7th enemy tank to his kill total, because there must be somebody within a couple of 100 metres in order to call in that artillery barrage, but sadly, no. That's pretty much it for this game. Still, 6 kills is nothing to be ashamed of. And I thought I'd feature this as today's video purely and simply, well, some of the kills were fairly hilarious. A couple of doses of surprise butt sex for some Russian tankers, but also the creative use of the Coaxial MG34 machine gun. Which may be old news for veteran War Thunder players, but, well, let's face it, veteran War Thunder players probably don't really watch my YouTube channel, because I feature War Thunder so infrequently. So watching somebody use that Coaxial machine gun as a rangefinder probably came as just as much of a surprise and a delight to you lot as it did to me, because you probably just play World of Tanks and rarely actually dabble in War Thunder. So, Cosmic Blitz 42, thank you very much for sending that replay in. everybody else, I hope you enjoyed it. And as always, take care, and I'll catch you next time.